For someone starting a new venture of their own today, what would your main few nuggets of advice be for them?
The very first thing I would say is that you need to know the term we use KYC. I say that that's not know your customers, it's know your co-founders. Because when you are
Right.
starting a new venture, you are getting into a marriage of sorts. Um, and I wish there was something, maybe I should coin this. It's called entrepreneurial prenup. You need to have that entrepreneurial prenup. And it's not about how are we going to divide equity. It's about how many hours of work are we going to put in? What are your beliefs about your work-life balance? Are
Mm,
you going to have family sometime soon? How much do you like to travel? Things that you really need to understand. It's not, when we're meeting up with colleagues and saying we should do this startup, it's really easy. You get along really well. You meet them up for drinks after work, and you're like, we should work on this together. You're
yeah.
this type of person, I'm this type of person. We would complement each other's skills. But those are the least of your problems. Finding people to complement your skills is the easy bit. The difficult bit here is to really figure out, are they really at the same level of uh, of 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 dedication, of engagement as you are? Are they going to move at the same speed as you are? So having that
Yeah.
conversation and developing that engagement prenup is perhaps the biggest thing I can say for new businesses and founders who are starting off. The second thing I would say is, if you think you know your marketing budget, we all have assumptions. We have a business plan. We put all the rows. We have the months running across the top. We all put in a marketing budget there. If you think you know your marketing budget, just double it.
Wow.
That'll help you sleep better at night. And if you double it and you're not making money, then I would argue that maybe your business model is flawed. I know that's really harsh, and maybe I'm wrong in some cases, but generally, customer acquisition costs, people often underestimate how high they are. And they always move higher. They never go lower. I mean, you might have an initial S curve and you might have an initial sort of cut down in your acquisition costs, but eventually that'll go up again because you have other competitors doing the same thing, buying every single keyword they can find under the sun. That's
Mm,
going to raise your CPCs. So this will happen. So always be erring on the side of conservatism and mark up your customer acquisition costs. It'll serve you well.
mm,
And the last thing I would say is that don't rush into the fundraise, and maybe not all money is good money. And what I mean by that is sometimes businesses often say, "Oh, I'm getting some funding in, right?" But you're giving up something. So if you have so much conviction in your idea, think about that, giving up something. And many times the terms are really not favorable. So if this succeeds, you're going to have nothing, or they're going to own you, or they're going to impose their will upon you. So really understand who you're taking money from, whether you need the money or not. And most of the time you need that money. I'm not questioning that. But make sure that it's from the right source. Make sure that if you can raise from friends and family more and more than you do from a VC, for example.
mm.
VCs are great, but it comes with its whole set of rules that make your life difficult as a founder, and maybe sometimes you're not ready for that.
Yes, yes. I've seen enough episodes of like Shark Tank and Dragon's Den where quite a lot of people get that advice. You don't actually need investment and you won't deal well with all the pressure that having VC style investors will put on you.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone, is it?
Sometimes it's also not serving your investor the same way.
Mm,
There was a point at which we needed to raise a second round of investment, so I went to angels before going to VCs, and I needed to raise a certain amount of money to execute the business plan we had, but we didn't get not nearly enough commitments to get all the way there. And so we would have fallen short on our business plan and ultimately would have fallen flat on our
no.
face. And we opted to actually walk away and just make a go of it on our own.
Wow.
Um, and it was more of a struggle. But it's better to build that healthier business with less money and maybe less profitability and maybe less growth.
It's so alluring, though, isn't it? The money, the green stuff. It's magnetic somehow.
Absolutely.
It's funny that. Well,